It's not his fault. His brother died in battle. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am reacting to a new show. I am so excited about this show. As you can see, I have on my Destiny is All Uhtred of Bebbanburg shirt. I know it's not the same story, but I gotta represent Bernard Cornwell. So I got the shirt on. Who knows? I might get a Winter King shirt. I might need to get an Arthur shirt. I'm so excited about this show. Bernard Cornwell, he is the author of the Saxon Chronicles, which was then adapted into the Last Kingdom series. It's one of my favorite series of all time. So when I heard that they were adapting these stories, I decided, you know what? I'm going to buy the books and I'm going to read them. Now, I haven't gotten through all of them yet. I actually just started reading The Winter King, so I'm about like halfway through it. And I just this will be my first time kind of being like in the know in terms of a TV show, in terms of reading the books. So I will be kind of aware of what's going to happen, what's already going to happen. So it's going to be interesting to see just the adaptation of this book into this show. Will it be good? I don't know. I have high hopes for this show. I know there's been a little bit of a controversy of this show. And if you watch my trailer reaction to this video, you'll see we had me and someone else had a really good conversation in the comments. And it's about the whole casting black actors to play like kind of historically white people. Although, you know, some of these people existed in real life and some of them didn't. This is pre-medieval Britain. Like this is before like even became like the England that we know it to be. So for the most part, black people didn't exist on this island. So to have black characters portraying these people, it's kind of problematic. Like, and I'm a person, I love Hamilton. Like, I think Hamilton is probably like one of my favorite plays of all time. Bridgerton, I love Bridgerton, but it's kind of getting to a point in the TV film industry where we're seeing this and it's kind of getting a little out of hand, because I know if it was the other way around, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, wait a second. Oh, no, they didn't. So it's problematic. I'll say that. It's problematic. So I hope it doesn't get like kind of distracting watching the show and like being like, why are black people here? Like what? Like what? So it'll be interesting to see that. It'll be interesting to see like how some of these people's names are pronounced, because y'all, I've been reading this book and I've been like, what? Like, how do you say that? I'm just gonna say it like this. And so I wonder if like I'm pronouncing them right, and to see in the show how these actors or these characters will be pronounced. We're gonna see if I was right in the pronunciations. So after my reaction, in the recap, I'll be kind of going over, like kind of comparing the book to the show to see how they kind of align and match up. That's what I'm most excited for. I'm really excited to see some of these characters portrayed on the TV screen. I'll go over this in my recap and kind of let you guys know, if you haven't read the books, kind of how this lives up to the books. And the books have been great so far. So I'm so excited to see this show. Please, please, please make sure that you like and subscribe so you can follow me along if you're a fan of the books or this TV show, or just want to see my reactions to different things. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. I'll be reacting to this every week until the season finale, and I hope this show is good, y'all. Like, I hope it's going to be good. Like, I know the story is going to be good, because from what I've read in the book so far, the story is so good. So I hope it lives up to the hype. I'm just going to get right into this show. So here we go. Britain, the 5th century. Decades of warring tribes have left the country divided. Tensions simmer between pagans and Christians. High King Uther Pendragon struggles to unite the tribes to take on the greatest threat of all, the Saxons. Dun dun dun. Oh, Arthur Longhair don't care like me.
We need to retreat.
Rip. R.I.P. to a real one. Ooh, the Winter King! I'm excited. Care Cataran. Oh, okay, that's how it looks. Okay, that's how it looks. Alrighty. It's nice to be able to finally see visually, because you have like an image in your head of what this place looks like, but it's cool to see it. A lot of stuff go down here. A lot of stuff go down here.
Take him down. Gently.
It's interesting to see even their wardrobes, but this is pre-Saxon. Well, you know, the Saxons are invading, but this is like they're the native people of this island. So to see how they dress at this time period as opposed to, you know, hundreds of years in the future with Last Kingdom, it's very different.
Perhaps it'd be better if the rest of us, you know, why don't you let us?
Arthur.
Let us take the prince to your father.
I will do it.
We won't welcome you for this.
Uh-oh. So this scene doesn't happen in the books. Or it happens like a different way. So it's going to be interesting to see how they depict this.
Sorry for the loss of my brother.
Right. You were ambushed.
Yes, father.
Where?
White Horse Plain.
Tell me. That's not his legacy. Answer me!
If I may, Great King, Arthur held the ground at the river. Had he not done that, we almost certainly
One
overwhelmed.
more word. You think holding your tongue makes you loyal, noble, worthy of my blood?
A land without an heir is a cursed one, but you are still young, my king. More than able to sire an heir if the Lord our God wills it.
But the fate of the kingdom is only as secure as the guard that is placed on that child. Father, I will lead that guard.
That's different from the books. Interesting.
If it pleases me, you truly are my bastard. You not only failed in your first task to protect the prince, but now you offer yourself up as the defender of the land, the protector of the people.
I mean, I can kind of see his point of view. It's like, oh, the heir to the throne dies, and oh, you're going to protect the land now? Like, oh, nice try, Arthur. I could see why he probably thinks that Arthur, like, wanted this to happen. Maybe.
Coveting is all you know, coveting, begging, and conniving, just like your mother.
How is that his fault?
You dishonor her and yourself.
Right. Oh. Like, bro, you realize I didn't ask to be here. Parents always think we asked to be here. I didn't ask to be here. Sorry. Sorry if you don't like me right now. I didn't ask to be here. It's Merlin. This scene already is like completely different from the books. So I'll talk about that in the recap. So make sure to stay for the recap.
Father, please.
Was he about to kill Arthur? Bruh. Relax, man. It's not his fault. His brother died in battle. Oh. Oh.
If it pleases me, pleases me.
It wasn't his fault. So maybe he's thinking like Arthur did this on purpose to try to take power. I mean, that's the only and he's like grief stricken. Like that's his favorite son that just died. So it's probably grief and him thinking Arthur might have done this on purpose. Definitely devious. At least what I've read so far in the books.
The Saxon. Patient. Ever vigilant. You think we'd know by now? You think we'd be ready? Year upon year, they awaken us like louse in a beam. The beam is cracking. It's breaking. I can hear it. Here you all are. The tribal kings and queens of this great isle. Truly, Bishop, I am blessed. I'm a little surprised, too. When the Saxon first darkened our shores, I, as ruler and high king of this isle, sought your aid. Did you answer my call, King Tudrik?
No, High King.
No, you sat that one out. You let Damnonia fight for you, die for you. Oh, King Cadwis. Did you fight at Damnonia's side?
No, my king. How can I earn your forgiveness?
None of you are Damnonia's friend. You resent us. You hate us. But surely, you hate the Saxon more. I felt more fealty from my dog. From my bastard! But the next time I call upon you, you remember this day. You remember your High King. Banish him!
You have lost one son today. The gods would not see you lose another.
Look at Merlin coming through to save Arthur.
Let me bear Mordred to Avalon. There he will be nearer to the gods when I convey him to their care.
Merlin saved Arthur's life.
Damnonia still dominates the Isle, but my father is complacent. He is blind. Make him see the error of his ways. My father ignores half the tribe kings. He must unite them.
Right, he was treating them all dirty.
Cement their support for the coming war.
How exactly are we meant to defeat the Saxons?
First, you contain them, then you hold the line. If one Saxon sets foot west of Claver, then we are doomed. Damnonia and all the tribes.
So his character, Owain, I think that's how you pronounce it. That's how I've been pronouncing it. I had him in my mind. I had him looking like, y'all know Klappa from, The Last Kingdom. That's who I pictured while reading the books. I mean, he does have like black hair and everything, but like, I don't know why, just his personality reminded me of Klappa. Just this big, strong guy that could fight. Dawg, they banished him? Arthur didn't do nothing but try to protect his brother, or try to fight for his brother. Wasn't his fault he died in battle. I mean, that's kind of what happens. People die in battle. King Uther, he's just grieving. That's all. Is Arthur stealing somebody's horse? So that whole scene that we just saw at Caer Cataran is like completely different from the books. So, but it's an adaptation. I don't expect everything to be exactly the same. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays a part. The Saxons are destroying stuff. Oof. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. That's rough, y'all. Is this who I think it is? This is who I think it is. I won't say anything until they say it on the show, but because I don't want to spoil for those who don't know, but this is who I think it is. Oh! goodness. Oh, even the sound of that is just, ugh. Okay, this is that. This is this place. It's nice to see this place visualized. I think they called it something else. They don't call it Avalon in the books. I believe they call it the Tor. At least the point that I've read in the books. Again, this place is called the Tor, and it's where Merlin and his little commune live. And it's full of people that are like misfits, kind of standout people, different people, people with disabilities, things like that. It's kind of like a safe haven for them, so it's a good place.
His wounds are deep, Merlin.
So what possessed you to bring him here?
He's dying. Avalon is home to those who do not fit and have no wish to belong. The only survivor of a raid to the north.
Silurians. We saved the Isle from the Saxons.
No, the Silurians.
Plunder.
Not the Saxons. The Silurians burned that village. Oh my god. Oh, so Merlin got like, he can see. He's like a seer almost. That's How? Highwell? Okay, so his name is pronounced How. So y'all reading the books, I was pronouncing his name a completely different way. I was like, Highwell? How? Again, I don't have a British accent either, so the way I say things, I just can't say it the way they say it.
Sending Mordred to quell a border skirmish would be foolish enough. Sending him to fight the Saxons in open battle.
My brother.
He spoke ill of you, often enough, and he had none of your gifts.
Oh, so Merlin ain't like Mordred. Merlin said, I ain't like him anyway. But you still here, though.
Nothing fosters enemies like envy.
Merlin. Nurture him. As you did me. Until I see you again.
Mutter.
He's Saxon.
Our tongue will be your tongue. We'll call you Dervahl. It means strong.
Dervahl. That's how they pronounce his name. Y'all, I was pronouncing it Derful. Like Derful. Dervahl. Okay.
Where do you live?
He would. 8 years later, Derful done growed up.
They say he's gone as far as Gaul. And his punishment still stands. Merlin says there'll be betrothals tonight.
Balan Colwyn.
So that's Nimue. That's Derfal's little, crush boo thing. She got a lot of freckles, y'all. Freckles are like, ugh, to me. I feel bad for saying that. That's Morgan. That's Arthur's sister. She's also a bastard too. Just like Arthur, but the king doesn't hate her.
Nimue. Lady Morgan?
Nimue?
Merlin is
Y'all, these names, okay, I'm learning how to pronounce them. I'm learning. While I was reading the books, I was calling her character like Nimue. Nimue. That's how I was pronouncing her name. It's Nimue. Oh. Now I know.
There are other girls in Avalon, Dervahl. Girls who can be truly yours.
So in the books, Morgan, she like wears this like mask because she's kind of like deformed and like scarred. And like she always wears this mask because she looks like rough, y'all. And she's really like skinny. So I guess they just didn't even bother with all of that. She's just gonna look regular, normal.
Dervahl. Got a minute?
So Howell's a black guy.
Almost time to hoist the bull.
You make it sound so much fun, Father. I'll fetch you something.
They like each other too. Durval, he be out here. He be out here. He like everybody. He like Nimue. He like her.
Deva, I want to ask you something.
Y'all, how do you pronounce his name? He has like an African accent. Like you can hear the African accent. That's, hey, I mean, he's doing the best British accent he can, I guess. But you can hear the African accent.
All I ask is, you don't throw me out.
What is Avalon?
They got a man with dreads there.
We are merely closer to the gods, to the life beyond. In that we are blessed.
So it is like, it's a lot of black people in here, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it's low-key kind of distracting. But I guess it makes sense because if you're gonna have a black Merlin, a black Howl, like you have to have other black people, because then it becomes, if it's just them two that are black, then like, where do they come from? So maybe that's why they have to have other black people in this village. Maybe. Or maybe it could be kind of like, since Avalon, the Tor, that's what it's called in the books, since it's a place for different people, maybe that's why we see diversity there. And maybe in like other parts of the island we won't see diversity. So maybe this is a specific like Merlin thing. That could be my only explanation for why it's so diverse. Again, I love diversity in real life, but like in pre-medieval Europe, it's not even just pre-medieval Europe, it's pre-medieval Britain. So I'll let it go. I'll let it go. I'm just gonna enjoy it. Look at Durval. What's his name? Durval? Nimue? She tripping.
What? What can you see? Tell me, Nimue.
Oh, she tripping. She tripping hard. Oh, Merlin hears it too.
Can you see? What is it? What is it?
Gods. They want me to choose. Choose between you or them.
And they won't wait for an answer. Away.
Oh, Merlin?
In time, you will be the most powerful druid Dumnonia has ever known. That is certain. You will be needed in the dark times ahead. But the road there will be hard. Long. Your life must be a solitary one, without union and without child, or you will lose your gifts.
What if I refuse?
Then the gods won't speak to you again. Ever.
Devil. How can I deny my path?
Ooh, rejection. So also in the books, Nimue, however you pronounce her name. Well, not however you pronounce her name. Her name is pronounced Nimue. Her and Merlin are actually like a thing. But like, Durval likes her though. And she like likes Durval too, but like she's like, yo, I got like this God stuff that I'm doing, so I can't like really be with you like that. But they kind of have like a really closeness to with each other. And I think in the book she's like really young. She's like a child almost, or like probably like 14 or 15. But like they aged her up for the show, obviously.
Are you drunk?
I just want to be alone.
Oh, he hurt. He hurt because Nimue rejected him. She had to choose, Durfee. She had to choose between you or the gods. How could she choose you? You're not a god.
Hold on, I'm coming. I'm coming. Stay still, you're safe now. You're safe now. You're a fighter. You're a warrior.
Yeah, Dervo, you might need to sleep that off. You drank a little too much.
You're a warrior.
So is this him deciding that, okay, like, you know, these women don't want me, so fine, I'm gonna be a warrior instead. Period. Okay, Dervo, go ahead.
What's going on?
Queen Oena's in labor.
You ride with us, Derval. We could do with the extra help.
She about to give birth. Cat.
Morgan.
So it's gonna be interesting to see how they show this scene and how it'll be different from the books or the scene.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Did she just yank that baby out? Oh! Not her just yanking the baby out. The club foot. Got the little club foot. That person that was doing the axe, that looks like Morgan. At least how they described her in the books, because she has this like gold mask on and like a hood. So was that Morgan? Was he seeing Morgan chopping people's head off? So that whole birth scene was like completely different from the books.
It is.
You got an heir to the kingdom. Now be happy. Bring Arthur back.
But he's crippled. His foot twisted, he will never run.
Ruh-roh.
Well, kings don't run, Merlin. They walk, they ride. They rule. It's not his foot that concerns me. It's his nature. There is evil in him. It will grow and fester with every passing year. He will bring death and ruin to the kingdom, and the Saxon will take the Isle.
It's a dark omen.
I saw a man who butchers his own people. I saw the end of Dumnonia and the whole of Britain.
Oh, look at the baby. Oh, look at the baby.
He has my father's eyes. Isn't a child, Merlin. It's in you. You have another son.
A bastard, yes, but a man other men will follow.
You dare mention his name. Seek Arthur out. Seek him out and beg his forgiveness.
Merlin, wow, he asking the king to beg.
You will take the newborn to your Avalon. He is different after all. He is special.
If you're too proud to send for Arthur, I'll go myself.
You walk away now, and you're never coming back.
So be it.
Is he about to banish Merlin too? Did he just like ban Merlin?
Dumnonia, the kingdom of kingdoms, has a new heir. Prince Mordred.
Mordred. He named him after his daddy.
I saw fire, slaughter, ruin. A land enslaved by a tyrant. I saw the death of Britain. That child will do the Saxons' bidding. Only Arthur can stop him. I should have brought him home sooner.
Why?
He is of the blood. A true Pendragon, he alone has the vision, the authority to bind the tribes and vanquish our foes. You must take my place, Nimue. Protect the pagan, thwart the Christian, and defend Avalon at all costs. Fate has forced our hand, but you are more than ready. You will speak to and for the gods, be their vessel and their voice. But the price of this power is your solitude. Remember that.
It's all on you, Nimue. Three months later. So Prince Mordred is 3 months old now at this point. Look at little Durful. Go ahead, Durful. This is his Rocky moment. I'm just kidding. Having flashbacks.
How about you tend to my horses every now and again? Perhaps one day I'll teach you how to use that thing properly.
We're men of God, and to pay our respects to the High King.
Well, unless I'm very much mistaken, you lot are Silurians.
We bring only ourselves and our good intentions. King Gonleus of Siluria.
Gonleus. Okay, that's how you pronounce his name. I think I was kind of pronouncing it right. When I was reading it, I was pronouncing it like Gundelius or something like that. So it's similar.
He and Siluria deserve nothing but the fiercest retribution. Let's slit his throat when we have the chance. If Arthur deserved banishment and exile, then he deserves a fate 100 times worse.
You over there hating on Arthur too much. You gotta hate on these guys. They're invading your kingdom. Or they're like burning down villages in your kingdom, torturing people.
I've come to pledge my allegiance, High King. I come to make peace. By the mercy of our Lord. My hands are clean.
You think Siluria's treachery can be forgotten with empty gestures?
Kill him. Blood for blood. Set me a challenge, a test, worthy of my crimes and my debt to you.
Your uncle, Gorfith, has been plundering our borders.
Gordfith? Okay, so I still don't know how
You will
to
see
pronounce
to
that.
it that he never does it again.
I will win your trust, as I won the Lord's forgiveness by word and deed.
It's your brutality I prize. Your violence. And your resemblance to a starving rat.
You humble me with your grace and forgiveness.
Dog.
Do that, Gundelius, and Dumnonia will forgive you all your past sins.
That was him. Gaul. The land of King Ban? Merlin. So I guess that's where he's banished to now.
Where is your lord?
And who are you? He took a spear cut to his cheek today. Can't see properly in a helmet, that's what he says.
Not him with the African accent. But I think he's actually like black in the book, so if that's who I think it is.
He kills like no man I've ever seen. But he likes to be clean after.
You get Arthur taking a little shower. Look at him.
Arthur.
Oh, the buddies.
Come home, Arthur. Only you can save the Isle.
His daddy trying to kill him though. That's it. Okay. That's the premiere episode of The Winter King. I thought it was pretty okay. I don't know if it was just me, but while watching it, I kind of got the vibes that I had while watching The 100. If any of you guys have seen that show, I don't know if it was maybe like the way it was directed or like the lighting or something, but like I kind of got the vibes feeling of like the 100 like season 1, season 2 vibes. That could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing. I don't know. I really liked the 100 up until like a certain point. So I don't know. That's kind of just like my initial thoughts. But in terms of comparing this episode to the books, it's pretty different. It's pretty different in terms of, especially like the timeline definitely was different in this episode, because in that first scene where Mordred, the king's son, dies and everyone's at this like little like council meeting, in the book Merlin is not there, Arthur is not there. It's kind of a scenario where the king, Norwina just gives birth, and they're like, is it gonna be a boy, is it gonna be a girl, because there's like this thing like it's an omen if like a king doesn't have an heir, a kingdom doesn't have an heir, then it's like cursed. And at this point in the books, like King Uther, he's like real sickly kind of, and so they're like, who's gonna take over when this guy like kicks a bucket? And so when she finally gives birth to the boy, a baby boy, he's clubfoot, and people are like, ooh, it's kind of a bad omen. And King Uther's like, bruh, don't worry about all that, we got a son, the kingdom's gonna be all right. And so they're trying to figure out who, he's a baby, and they know the king's gonna kick the bucket soon, and they're like, who's gonna protect him so when he grows up he can take the throne. And that's kind of what that whole council is about. And Merlin's not there, Arthur's not there, and everyone's suggesting these people to watch the baby, like, hey, he can watch the baby, and he can watch the baby and guard over him and raise him. And everyone's kind of like, in the books, they're standing around like, is anybody going to say it? Is anybody going to say it? And then someone says Arthur, and the king's like, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, no, we need Arthur because he's the real deal. And then Arthur is the one that, like, comes and protects the baby. Merlin does not suggest, obviously, because he's not at that council meeting, Merlin doesn't suggest, or it was Arthur in the show, actually. Arthur doesn't suggest, hey, I should be the guard for the baby. He doesn't suggest that. So that's the difference from the show in the books. Also, like, they're much more obviously descriptive in the book in terms of the baby's death. Like, Norwina, she was the wife of Mordred, who died early in, the beginning scene of the episode. And she's a staunch Christian. She is like Christian through and through, and she has her Christian like midwives around her while she's giving birth. And it's a really, really difficult birth, and the baby is just like not coming. And so the King Uther is like, look, we're going to get these Christians out of here, and we're going to bring in Morgan and Nimue and all her little people to come and help deliver this baby, because the Christians ain't helping, the Christian God isn't helping, so we're going to bring in our gods. And Norwena's like, no, I don't want these pagans around me. And Morgan's like, girl, bye. And like, basically, like, it's akin to that scene in the House of the Dragon, that first episode where the queen, she's giving birth, and they're like, look, she don't matter, the baby matters. We need to rip this baby out of her. And so it's kind of it was similar to that, where it's like, look, the baby needs to come regardless whether the mom lives or dies. Luckily, Norwina, she lives. So that's something that was different in the books. It was a big scene, and very chaotic. And it's like, oh my gosh, is she going to give birth? Is she going to die? Da, da, da. But in the episode, they kind of just show her giving birth. They show Morgan. She just snatched that baby right out and said, bet. Baby's born. And again, in this whole point in the book, Merlin is not there. Merlin is not there for the birth of baby Mordred. So that's just a different, I'm okay with like it being different than the books. So like that's fine to me. In terms of like seeing like black people, and it looks like it was like other people, like maybe Spanish people, or like maybe like native people, which in that case, like seeing native kind of looking people, I don't know how to describe it. If you watched the show, you probably saw during that ceremony that they had at Avalon. It seemed like it was black people there, but it was also like maybe native looking people. there, which isn't too far off because this is the British Isle. This is the UK, whatever they called it at this point. It was called different things, but Britain. It's close to Greenland, and the native people of Greenland look at that certain way, so maybe that kind of works out like that. And that whole scene where you see all the different people, I said it like in my reaction, but I'm thinking it had to be that specific place, because in the books where Merlin lives, it's called the Tor. It's a place for people that are different, people that are disabled, people that are little people, people that maybe have mental illness, or just they're different people. There's a lot of kids there because Merlin wants to have a lot of kids around him. It's kind of a safe haven for the downtrodden and left out people. And that's kind of why King Uther made that comment, like, hey, you're gonna watch Mordred because that place is for people like that, or whatever he said. But it's a place for like that. So maybe that's kind of the justification for having such diversity in that place, in that area. Because when we were at Cairn, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Cairn, that's how I'm gonna say it. You didn't see that. It was just people that look like that, from what I could tell. I think I saw like 1 or 2 black people there. So I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why. We'll have to see in the next episode how it is. That whole thing, the diversity thing, it was a little bit distracting just knowing that this isn't even medieval Europe, y'all. This is like pre-medieval Europe. This is like before they're not even Saxon. Like the Saxons are invaders at this point. It's just like the native people on the island. So, I guess this is just artistic liberty. Not I guess, it definitely is artistic liberty. So that's, I guess, we'll just have to deal with it. I mean, at this point, it's something that for me, I can like look past. But I know for a lot of people, it's probably going to be like problematic. And I hope it doesn't like take away from people looking at it objectively. So, moving on. We got introduced to some characters. We got introduced to Dervahl. That's how you pronounce it. I was pronouncing it Dervahl while reading, but it's Dervahl. Okay, I can, that's pretty close. And he's kind of like the main character in the story in the books because everything's from his perspective. And in the books, he has, at least the parts that I've read so far, he adores Arthur. Like, he is like, Arthur is this guy that I want to be. It's almost like how you would feel if you met like a celebrity or like a super role model of yours. Like, he's very adoring to Arthur. And so you kind of see, they kind of like allude to it a little bit, but he's like, I'm going to be a warrior like Arthur. So that's cute, and he's a big player in this show, and it'll be interesting to see how he comes to be Dervahl, this guy. I don't want to give too many spoilers away if you haven't read the books and you're just watching the show. So I'll just leave it at that. Nimue, in the books, she's like a kid almost, like she's not like a teenager. But in the show, she's a woman, and that's a good thing because in the books, she's like Merlin's woman. Like that's her man. And Dervahl like kind of likes her. She likes Dervahl too, but it's like more like a sister-brother kind of relationship at this point. I was calling her Nimue, but I guess her name it's pronounced Nimue. So now when I'm reading the book, I'll pronounce her name right. And so she's like a druid in training, essentially. And druids are just these like magical beings in the books. They're not really magical in the books, but like that's what people think they are, so they kind of just roll with it. They're healers. They're like, basically that's what they are. They're healers. And they can speak to the gods. They're healers and they're seers. That's a good way to put it. And they speak to the gods, and she's kind of one in training, and that's kind of her character. We'll see how they portray her, and it seems like in the show point of view, or it seems like from the show's perspective, she's really dealing with this. Do I want to fully devote myself to the gods, or like have a boo thing? And Merlin walks up to her and he's like, you can't have a boo thing. Like, you have to be about this God stuff, like, period. So it's her storyline's a little bit different from what I've seen in the show, but again, it's an adaptation, so I'm okay with that. Towards the end of the episode, we see someone, he's another black guy that's with Merlin. I don't know if they said his name yet, so I'm not going to really talk about him too much, but I think he is who I think he is, and if that's the case, then he's actually black in the books. So that's okay. So we're good. All in all, I thought it was a solid episode. It's, it's a pilot episode, so it's kind of, you don't know, and they're setting the foundation, so I'm going to give it a chance. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it enough to keep watching it, and I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this episode. And what do you think so far? It's the pilot. Make sure to let me know in the comments, what do you think? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the black actors? What you think about the differences between the books and this TV adaptation? I would love to know what you guys think. If you're not reading one of the books or you haven't read the books yet, what did you think of this show just from a TV viewer standpoint? I would love to know your thoughts. Make sure to comment in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.